So the first thing here, it's a mock test. And in the IELTS preparation course, you will not be in a real test. You will be in a mock test. What is a mock test? You know, I think maybe heard this word mock. It's about just like imitation or something similar to something else. So let's see what is a mock test in IELTS. It's a practice test that simulates the real IELTS exam. So it's something similar to the IELTS exam, something the same, nothing different. Okay, but its usage is to prepare you to practice and test something similar or something you will see something exact like it in the exam. So here it simulates the real IELTS exam. It includes all the 4 sections: listening, reading, writing, and speaking, and follow the same format, the same time, and difficulty level as the actual test. So a mock test is something we will take, inshallah, during this course, so that you will feel like you are in a real exam with the same amount of time and the same steps that you have to follow there in the exam, inshallah. Okay?
Okay.
Do you have any question about the definition? Anything you want to ask?
No.
Okay. What is the purpose of a mock test? First of all, it helps you to familiarize yourself with the test structure. Second thing, it's identify the current English level. Like, for example, when you have a mock test and for example, you get 30 out of 40, you will know your exact level by taking a real band that's similar to your answer in the worksheet. Okay, so is the paper answer of listening, even writing, and so on. Third thing, it's the practice time management and test taking strategies. During the test, you will go through some real, tension. For example, you will feel pressure or anxiety. You will be stressed because you will think you are in a real test. Sometimes you will have a band that you don't like, and from that band, you have to increase your level so that you can increase your language actually. That's why it helps you with the time management, because you have a limited time, so that when you think, you have a limited thinking part, and you know the strategies that you have to go through. As we said here, it reduces anxiety. Like you feel for the first time when you have a mock test, you will feel like nervous. Maybe you will not be that care, but when you get your band and it's low or it's high, you will be care more to get the band that you would like to have the test for. So anxiety will be less, but when you have realistic experience of the exam, every time when you have an exam, a mock exam, you will reduce your anxiety and pressure, inshallah. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. The second thing here is the IELTS academic mock exam. Actually, it goes like this. As we said, we have a listening test, a reading test, a writing test, a speaking test. The listening is for 40 minutes. Reading for 60 minutes. Writing, 60 minutes. Speaking from 11 to 14 minutes.
And teacher, when we can get our marks
You can get
after how much time?
you can get your marks if they are on the laptop, like you have test your IELTS exam. You can get your mark, I think, after a week. It depends on actually the place you have the test in. Sometimes a week, sometimes more than a week. Okay, if it's not written. Okay, if you didn't write the answer by yourself, but you write it on a laptop, for example, or a computer, a PC, okay? Because
Okay.
it's more easier for them to check it faster than the written one. And here we have in the listening, we have four sections. For example, the first section is about a conversation and booking hotel. For example, this is a mock test, you know, like a similar question that might come or not. We have a monologue about a local museum tour. We have a discussion between students about a group project. We have a lecture on the history of aviation. Look here, you have four sections of listening, and they are about 40 questions. You have 40 minutes, okay? 30
Mm.
minutes to answer and listen and read, and 10 minutes 10 minutes to copy your answers in the answer sheet. So the 40 minutes is not only for answering and
Why
reading,
should we copy it in the answer sheet?
because you have a booklet. First of all, you see and read the questions and answer and write your answer in it, and then you copy them in the answer sheet, which will be the paper with the booklet that you will the IELTS examiner will receive from you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and now we have the reading, which is 60 minutes. We have three long passages, by the way. One could be about the science behind climate change. Second one could be about the history of print and press. Third one about artificial intelligence in modern life. Any topic, okay? And all of them, they will be formal, by the way, because this is academic IELTS. Underwriting, you have two tasks. Task one and task two. Task one, it's a graph, as we said yesterday. Task two, it's about an essay. It could be argumentative, an opinion essay, and so on. Okay?
Okay.
And every one of them, you have a limited vocabulary or number of words, which is 150 here. And here it's 250. You couldn't write, or you shouldn't write less or more, only the exact number. Because you will reduce your band if you just go against, the rules. Now let's go for the speaking part. You have three parts that you will go through inshallah in the party in the speaking part, which is from 11 to 14 minutes. Questions about home, studies, hobbies.
Now
Not now. No, I'm just telling you. Okay.
on the exam.
Yeah, in the exam. You have questions about home, studies, hobbies, so on. Second part, you have to describe a time when you worked on a team project, for example. And the examiner told you, Abdurrahman, I would like you to describe a time when you worked on a team project. And for example, this task, it could go from 1 minute to 3 minutes or 2 minutes, up to the examiner who's in front of you. He can just get some questions to ask you about from this topic while you are talking about. He can take some notes, okay, and ask you more questions that are related to the same part, which is description of a time when you worked on a team project. Okay,
Yes, just 1 minute.
part three, Abdulrahman.
Teacher. Okay, okay.
Discussion about teamwork, leadership, collaboration, any other thing. It's just something that you will, it could be new for you. It could be something similar that you go through, inshallah, during the course, maybe. Okay, it's only about how he can ask you something, and you can go naturally without hesitation, without using simple language, by using, even if you will use complex sentences or idioms, something will be naturally, you will go naturally, Abdurrahman. You will not think, you will not go up with your eyes in a circular motion, for example, or circular motion. You will not take time to think, you will not hesitate and say, yeah, all of these, that means you're living in English, it will not that like an expert user or even a very good user. Okay, Abdurrahman,
Okay.
do you have a question about this part?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, now let's go on. First of all, inshallah, today we will talking about the first part, which is lesson part, okay?
Okay.
Before we take the listening tricks, inshallah, we will go through the band. For example, Abdurrahman, I would like to get band 8 and above it. What I have to do, miss? We have general information about IELTS here in the listening part. As we said, it's about 30 minutes, it's about 40 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes for answering and 10 minutes for transfer, for copying the answer in the IELTS listening sheet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We have four sections, as we said, and we said some potential questions that could be, or some potential topics about some, maybe from a journal, from a book, anything. Okay, and there are questions about 40 questions. Like, for example, we have a social context, we have a monologue, and we have a conversation in academic setting. We have a lecture or a monologue on academic topic, and we have some examples here, like booking a hotel, which is a social context. Maybe here a monologue, like speech about local facilities, and something about academic setting, which is students discussing in an assignment, a project, for example, a lecture maybe between a student and a professor, or a monologue even. So we have different types of audios that we can go through in the exam. Second thing, question types of listening. It could be multiple choose, like ABC, and you have to choose the correct answer, matching to match from numbers to letters. Sentence completion, like there is a missing word or two words in the sentence, and you have to listen and complete them. Form table, notes, summary, flowchart, completion. Any other part of listening could be a table, schedule, a form, even a chart, and you need to complete it after listening. You maybe have a map, even you maybe have a diagram, okay, and you need to label it, like to write the correct word that is missed. You need to fill the gap.
Yes.
Short answer questions, for example, it could be a question and you need to answer maybe in 3 words. The accent that will be in the audio, it could be British, Australian, New Zealand, American, and Canadian. So all of these. Okay. Abdurrahman,
Okay.
something about listening.
It's the easier one. It's the easier thing, correct?
No, not
Oh,
like this.
how?
No, I would like to tell you that. For example, if you have two potential answers that you got during lesson and you wrote them, when you copy them to the answer sheet, you have to write only one, because if you write both of them, um,
I didn't understand. What did you say, teacher, again?
okay, one more time. When you have an answer and you have
Yes.
then to, it could be more than one answer according to the listening audio, and you wrote them while copying them. In the answer sheet, you cannot put both of them, only one of them. Okay?
And if even if the two are correct?
Even if the two are correct, only one. Which one you decide, you will put it. And something more, you cannot put extra words. Only use the correct word without adding. Do not fill the sentence with a lot of words. Even if they are relative, only write the answer they are asked for. Okay?
Okay.
Second thing I want to say,
So
yeah.
what's the easiest exam between them?
What?
What's the easiest exam?
This it's about yourself. When you study all of them, all the four branches of the language, and you practice on them, it's up to you to decide. So what do you think it's more easier or much easier for you? What's the thing that you will not exert effort in it? By the way, you will exert effort in all of them. Okay, but with
Okay.
time it will be less. You will be less anxious, less stressed because you practice on all of them. So let's go on. Do you have any question about this part?
No.
Okay. Okay, how to get band 8 in listening or above band 8? First of all, we are talking about listening, by the way, okay?
Yep.
First of all, you have to master the format, like know exactly what to do. You have to know the types of the questions and practice each one. You have to learn the structure of each section and common traps, distractions, corrections, and so on. You have to improve listening skills strategically. Like you have to listen daily to English audios podcast on TED, BBC, about news, lectures, and so on, so that you will like you are letting your ears become addicted on listening and practicing English all the time. Focus on listening for specific information, for main ideas, for paraphrased expressions and corrections. Like you listen, but you listen for something more specific. You are not listening for just no, or even for fun. You need to listen because you want to grab some specific information so that you can complete your answer. That's
Yes.
why you have to plan before
Times we can for this one, like for the listening exam.
again, please.
How much time I can listen for the test?
Only one time, and you have
Only one?
yeah, not three. And you have to answer while listening.
While listening,
Yeah, while listening.
it will be harder. I can't concentrate with both of them.
But if you practice on the format of the exam, it will be easier for you. And by the way, you have only 30 seconds before the listening part to read the questions. Okay? We will take an example of this, inshallah. Don't worry,
Mhm.
maybe in this class I will show you an example and I will show you the answer listening part also. Look here also. Use IELTS practice tests, like a practice under exam conditions regularly. Like I'll give you classes for mock test, and you will have mock test at home, and you will send it to me to check it for you, and so on. Practice under exam conditions regularly. Review all the mistakes and understand why the right answers are correct. You need to understand everything. You need to correct. You need to go through reading stage or or even if you have a right answer, you have to know and understand why this answer is right, so that you will have a thoughtful or a thankful mind. You will not only answer by chance. The fourth stage is that you need to develop your synonyms, antonyms, derivative, and so on, like your vocabulary in general. Why? Because you might listen or hear the word for the first time and you don't know its meaning, and it will let you down. Like you will know how to write the answer or the spelling of the word. It's a must to spell every word correctly, because in the answer sheet you have to write the right answers, and if the spelling is wrong, then you will not get the band that you are looking for. Okay?
Okay.
Second thing, band 8. Band 8 requires recognizing paraphrased vocabulary. You need to know if this vocabulary or even the similar or synonym of vocabulary, even the definition that is paraphrased, and you know that it's referred to a word that you know. So it requires recognizing everything, every vocab that's paraphrased or paraphrased, sorry. Build list of synonyms and collocation. Do not say do a mistake. No, it's a make a mistake. That's why you need to focus on collocations. Make up your mind for examples and how prepositions go. For example, arrive in, arrive at, not arrive to. And so you need to build list of synonyms and collocations. And number 5, stage number 5, manage time effectively. You cannot go deep in your thoughts and forget about time in the exam. It will be like a catastrophe, actually. So you need to focus. You need to know exactly the limited time that you have. You have to practice on the time all the time. Like you have to go through tests that will help you to practice, so that you will know exactly. It's not your first time to just test something and you don't know how to manage the time. For example, with the
Actually,
instructions,
practice too much,
yeah, you have
too
to.
much before going to the exam.
Yeah, of course, so that you will not be like surprised. You have to read the instructions and how to manage your time effectively through 3 things. The first one is to read instructions and questions before the recording starts. So you have for every page or part of audio, for every audio, you have 30 seconds only to read the questions and then listen. Okay? So you need to read fast and with a focusedness. Why? Because you will not have time to read again.
Mhm.
Second thing, you need to use the pauses to predict answers. Like when they pause, try to predict, try to think, but do not think deep so that they will not, the time will not go on without answering. Use a 10-minute transfer time to check grammar and spelling. The 10-minute transfer time to check grammar and spelling. While you're writing your answers, you have to check everything again. Second step is spelling and grammar count. One spelling mistake equals to 0 for that question.
Oh,
One
teacher, teacher, if I mistake then a question, uh,
0. If
yeah,
the
zero. They will give me only zero, or yeah, like, or they will give me
if your
-1.
answer if your answer is right but the spelling is wrong, 0 for the question.
For the, yeah, for zero, even if a spelling
Example,
mistake.
for example, the first audio maybe has 10 marks. Okay, and every question maybe has 2 marks. That a question that you have a misspelling in it, you will get 0 for it. No marks for it. Even the answer is right. Got it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so the
That's why
spelling is
you
so
have to
important.
memorize. That's why you have to memorize words carefully. And
Uh,
now practice listening and writing down words accurately. By the way, there is an application for practicing new vocabulary and definitions. I can recommend it to you, which is the flashcards. And someone recommended this to me, and it's effective. You can use it. Flashcards, you can open Play Store and download this app and use it if every week you have some new words. You can
yeah,
just
but
recap them. Yeah,
teacher, what's the name of this app?
flashcards. I will send it to you to the group. Don't worry about this. Okay, now
Okay.
we have the step after it. Train focus. Train focus. The audio is played only once. Abdurrahman.
Yes,
Not
teacher.
3 times, it's not 2 times, only once. And you cannot
Yes.
even ask the examiner for more time. Don't ever think about this. A practicing, a practice is staying focused for the full 30 minutes without distractions. Do not go for drinking for the bathroom. No, there's nothing like this in the exam.
Even if I want to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't think so. Go to the bathroom before the exam. The exam is 40 minutes. How can you just go to the bathroom during the exam? You will have less minutes. I don't know if this is allowed or not, but I don't think so.
Because we did
Uh,
not do it before.
you did this in at school, Abdurrahman, not in IELTS exam. Okay, so we have a train focus. The audio is played once. Practice is staying focused for the full 30 minutes without distraction. And then, Alhamdulillah, score breakdown for band 4. For band, sorry, 8, not 4. I need to stay focused for more than 30 minutes. Okay, to get band 8 in listening, you typically need to get from 35 to 36. You need to get from 35 to 36 points. So that all of these questions or the marks should be like this. Do not have less out of 40, by the way. If you have maybe 35, you will not band 8, you will be maybe you will be, I think, band 7.5. Okay? Because there's nothing called 7.8, 7.7. Okay, Abdurrahman?
Yes.
35 to 36. Now
Mm-hmm.
finished. Do you have any question about this?
No.
Okay. One minute. I need to show you something. Look here, Abdurrahman. This is the sample answer worksheet, okay? That you have for listening. You have, first of all, IELTS listening or answer sheet. You have the candidate name.
We look like this.
Yeah, it's the same exactly. This is from British Council, by the way. Don't worry about this. This is a sample. Okay, you will have a
Mm-hmm.
paper like this exactly. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
British Council, IDP, Cambridge English, and they are the founders of the IELTS. Okay, or the places that present IELTS exam. The candidate name is your name. Abdurrahman, you write it in English. The candidate number here from the left to the right, and the center number from the left to the right. And here, the day of the test, if it's 20, so 20. and then the months, which months, okay, 1 or 2 or 3, and the year from the left to the right, by the way. And for example, if I have one, it will be like this, the first day of the month. For example, I'm talking about 4, so it will be like this, okay? Because sometimes the month it could be 10, so it will be 1. Oh, okay.
Okay.
And there from the left to the right, which is for squares. Okay. We have here the listener from 1 to 40. 1 to 40. Okay. You cannot go out of the square. Only you have to write inside the square. The answers are so short. Do not write anything here, Abdurrahman. Anything here will be wrong. Okay, this is for the examiner to test you whether your answers are
Uh-huh.
correct or not. Do not write anything here also, or even anything here. Your answer should be inside the square. If it's A, it will be A inside it, or because I'm using the pen, okay? If it's C, it will be inside it C. If it's some words, maybe you have to go through it inside the square, not out of it, okay? And you should be careful because it's not preferable to erase and write an answer again, okay? In this paper
Mm.
exactly. And you only have 10 minutes from the time of the exam. Like the total time is 40 minutes, 30 for answering and 10 minutes for writing, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any answer about this paper?
No.
Okay, just a minute, wait for me until I open a video for you to show you something.
Teacher will solve anything or we are just بتشرحي لنا يعني.
Today we are talking about all the information
Mm.
about listening, and if we have time, I will show you a mock test.
Mhm.
Just a minute.
Fill in IELTS answer sheets.
Okay, let me share it with you.
The answer sheet in IELTS is double-sided, one for listening and one for reading. Here, you will write your full name in capital letters, as per your identity document. You can refer to desk label for writing your candidate and center number in these boxes. Mention the test date here. In reading sheet, you need to select the test module for which you registered. Pencil must be used for writing the answers. Take care of spellings and grammar while writing your answers. Write your answer inside the box, against each question number. If you want to change any answer, erase or cross out the original answer, and write in the new one. Do not write anything inside marker, use only columns. For more videos, please.
Yeah, Abdurrahman.
Mhm.
Second thing, we have a mock test about listening. It's an advertisement, so we will wait a minute until it just goes on.
till you get to a small winding road turning off.
First of all, Abdurrahman, remember, you have only 30 seconds to read the questions and then listen and answer, okay? This is the topic titled Art and History in the Sheep Market. This is an example of the lesson that you will go through. This is the first lesson. It's a map. You have from 1 to 6 questions. You need to read the questions and then listen and answer while you are listening. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And where should I write the answers?
On a piece of paper, of course.
Okay, just a minute.
Okay.